Good morning, everyone. Cheers, and let's welcome Arthur. Hey, Arthur, how are you?
This way.
Cheers.
Cheers. Got my water.
Again, I was complimenting Arthur on his beautiful shirt this morning. I'm sure that KK would like it. Let's say hey to some people. Hey, good morning, Joyce, and her beautiful kitty. Hey, Joyce, I just fed my kitty, and so there you go. And good morning, KK. Cheers. Yeah, how are you? Arthur, how are things for you?
Oh, things are nice now. The weather cleared out and all the rain came through.
Good.
So it's a little bit cooler. They say it's supposed to be down in the 70s here come next week around Tuesday. So, yeah.
I hear you. That's cool. And KK saying good morning.
Good morning. How are you this morning?
Good. Hey, good morning, Mike. How are you? Cheers. Now, you're in the southern part of the United States, right?
Yeah, Central Florida.
Central Florida. Yeah. How close are you to the ocean?
About 20 miles.
About 20 miles. Darn, that's
Give
awesome.
Give or take a few miles.
Now, you're on would that be the West Coast or the East Coast?
Closer to Daytona, New Smyrna Beach.
So that's the East Coast, right?
East Coast.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Wonderful. That must be great. Kathy says, great shirt, Art. I knew she would like it. Yeah. I like tie-dye. You like tie-dye, so does KK. So there we go.
I'm going to go and get some more Wednesday.
Oh, my stars. Hold on. I'm going to go with you.
Okay.
Hey, you got some records to show us, Art?
Yeah, I picked up a few.
Yeah. So I had a chance to talk to Art earlier. Was it this week or last week? And I have a lot of customers that come in and say, man, I had these wonderful records, but I got rid of them all when CDs came along. And was that your story, Art?
It was my story. I had a really nice collection. I was in the Navy for 20 years. So when I would deploy, I would go to Italy and Spain and in those countries over there and many others, pick up records. And then I guess the early 90s, I decided one day I'm going to go ahead and sell all my records. So I sold my records and started buying CDs and regretted it ever since. So when the pandemic hit, I started collecting records again. And then I wanted all my records I had when I was younger, and I've tried to find them. So I've been on a hunt for the past about 9 months, and I've accumulated about 300 records. And so it's been fun. And I try to buy from local stores, try to stay away from the internet, and search out. My wife says, I think I bought every record I wanted in a radius of 100 miles. So
cool.
that's just but that's, I've looked at a lot of stores, east, west, north, south, and the record stores, and I've accumulated, I've gotten back a good percentage of my collection, put it that way.
Oh, that's very cool. But were you able to find your Italian pressings and your German pressings and your UK pressings?
Those are long gone, I'm sure, in someone's collection.
Yeah, you'll find some. A little bit.
Yeah, I have found a couple, but truly, I enjoy my collection more now than I did before.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, there you go. Yeah. Take it away, Art.
So,
show us.
Here's one I found the other day, and I've been looking for this record. I had this one when I was in high school, I believe, or maybe junior high, and I like the early Neil Diamond. And this one here's got the timestamp on it, and I like timestamps and I like promos. So if I see those, especially the white label promos, I pick them up pretty quick.
I like those too.
And then the other day, I was out looking around, and I found this one.
Oh yeah, that's the narrative, right? Oh, I think we lost Art. Art had to restart his modem this morning. When I came in, my computer had crashed. Here, we got Art back. So yeah, Art, is that the narrative?
Yeah, that's the one done by Richard Harris, and it has
Oh,
a
wow.
orchestra with it. I haven't done it, but it has the shrink on it, and it has the hype stickers.
I like that hype records ABC.
Yeah, old school, and the vinyl inside was nice. So found that one. That kind of goes with the Neil Diamond one. And then, I mean, I got a good stack here. Then I got some more on the chair over here. Found this one with the timestamp, and I played this the other day. Loggins and Messina had this one back in the day, and this sounded brand new, like it never been played when I threw it on the turntable. And then Kenny Loggins starts out the show, and then when Jim Messina comes on, he says he's bringing out his friend. Oh, then the album just takes off from there. Yeah. But it'd been probably 30, 40 years since I heard this record.
Wow.
But it's like one of my favorites back in the day.
Do you like Kenny Loggins' solo material?
No, not really.
Do you like Messina's solo material?
I've never heard it. Tell you the truth, I've never heard his solo material. Have you?
I have.
Have you?
It seems like when they were together, it was a wonderful pairing. And then it seemed like when Kenny Loggins in the 80s got Flashdance or whatever the movie was.
The one from
All Right. It seems like that really took off for him, and probably
he had the hit with Tom Cruise too, didn't he? With the Tomcat.
It's that song, I'm All Right.
Yeah, I think that was from Caddyshack.
Okay. And then he got into yacht rock, and so that was really good for him. I'm sure he made a lot of money. Yeah. Hey,
here's another one I found. Red Fox. I found this one, but it said it's rated G.
Rated G.
Yeah. I heard back in the day, he could get pretty bawdy. So I found this one. I said, well, I'll give it a try. I always liked the show.
And how was it?
Huh?
And how was it?
I haven't listened to it yet.
Oh, okay.
I get to listen to maybe a couple every afternoon, from about 1 o'clock until 5 o'clock. So I get to listen to about 2 or 3. Okay. And I found this was in the Any Which Way You Can. That has over here has a hiker. But these are just some soundtracks I found and some other stuff. Cat Stevens, Foreigner. I have never heard this Cat Stevens album. I had his earlier ones when I was younger, but I haven't heard this one.
I like it.
You like that one?
Mm-hmm. I sure do.
I never heard it. So that's going to be a lot of these bands. It's like I heard their early stuff, but I missed their later career for some reason. Maybe it's because I was in the service and I started listening to other things. Like when I was younger, I was in high school and stuff. A big thing back then was like Deep Purple, Alice Cooper, David Bowie, all those bands, because I graduated in '76 from high school. So those were like the big name artists when I was in high school. And then about, I guess it was 1977, right when I was getting ready to go in the Navy, a friend of mine turned me on to The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. He said, oh, you got to hear this record. And by that time, I was already, 2 years old, because Gabriel left in 75. So the album came out in 75, but it wasn't until 2 years later that I heard The Lamb. And that just blew my mind blown, Then I started listening. After I heard that, I started listening to the Straubs. I started listening to Nectar. I started listening to Emerson, Lake and Palmer. I started listening to Yes. Then I saw Yes at the Hampton Coliseum in Virginia on the Tormato tour, I think it was. And then I was on a roll then. I was listening to prog music. and I listened to prog music for 20 years, and I never looked back.
Wow.
But recently, I've been going back to my roots, so to speak, and listening to Bowie and listening to like Loggins and Messina and Cream and a lot of the older bands that I kind of left behind. I kind of left them sitting on the curb, and I started listening to prog.
That's awesome. Let's say hello to Johnny. Hello, Johnny. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Another one I found.
I hear banjos.
Yeah. Some of these records I've never owned before, but I saw them there and I said, well, I'm just going to pick them up, This is a soundtrack for The Alamo with John Wayne.
Wow.
I got to get to the rock and roll records here.
Oh, I see something on the wall I'm interested in.
What's that?
It's behind your head.
That poster up there is from Steve Wilson.
The Pink Floyd poster? I see a Pink Floyd, a triangle. Oh, I think Art's having a little.
No, that's Steve.
Sorry.
Talk about fusion. Al Di Meola. I like Al Di Meola.
Very cool.
I like fusion jazz. I listen to a lot of that.
I'm so sorry, Art. What I was saying is that there's a poster behind your head, and I see a prism, and it looks like Pink Floyd.
But it's not Pink Floyd.
It's not? What is it?
No, that's Steven Wilson. That's an autographed picture or promo for the concert. I went and seen him. It'll be 2 years ago this December, next month.
Okay.
Saw him in Ponte Vedra Beach up near Jacksonville.
I bet that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great show. It was in an old church, and it was converted. It's been converted into a small venue. There wasn't probably 800 to 1,000 people in there. Mm-hmm. And Adam Holtzman plays the keyboards at that time for him, and he's a jazz fusion keyboardist. And his father, Adam, actually went to some fancy. I forget the name of the place where he went to school to learn, like Juilliard or something. I mean, he went to one of those places like the Dream Theater guys did in New York City, to where they learn how to play instruments. And his father was well known in New York City too, Adam Holtzman. But he's amazing. But Steven Wilson's like one of my favorite artists.
He has
got a new album coming. He has a new album coming out, and then of course, I like Porcupine Tree, which is again prog.
There you go. Awesome.
Here's another Al Di Meola album that I found with the timestamp, and it's a white label promo. Elegant Gypsy. Very good. Early Al Di Meola album. I seen him live a few years ago down in Orlando with his band. Don Henley. Everybody needs a little Don Henley or the Eagles in their collection.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Never owned this album before. Linda Ronstadt and the Stone Ponies. Early album.
In a while.
Yeah. Now, interesting fact here is the Eagles were in her backup band when she first started. Glenn Fry and Don Henley, and maybe Bernie Lee. They were. She was instrumental in getting them going, getting the Eagles started. If I'm not
I bet that was wonderful to live in that area during that time and go see Linda play, and then hear about the Eagles and that.
I seen her a thing on YouTube the other day where she was interviewed. This would have been back in the 80s, and she was talking about the Troubadour and the LA area back in those days when Jackson Brown was there, and her and the Eagles. They weren't the Eagles then, but and other bands, and how she used to interact with them. She said she first met. I think she said she first met Don Henley one day when she was either going to the bathroom or coming back from the bathroom and then going to the bar or something. And he was there, and they started a conversation, and then that was it. And then it went from there, and they had a friendship for years. But and then she was friends with Glenn Fry too. She says Glenn Fry was an amazing songwriter. He had a thing for music where he could just sit down at a table and just like sketch out a song, just off the top of his head, you know. So and then of course Glenn Fry knew Don Henley, so then that all started. But it was fun to listen to her talk about the old days, But now she has it's kind of a one about her now, and they interviewed her like a year ago, and she has MS and she's not doing well at all.
Yeah.
So, but it showed her on the couch, and she was in her home, and she was talking, reminiscing, kind of bitter a little bit. But I don't know why.
She was just as sharp as she can be, and you can kind of wanted to get out there and ride that bicycle, and I felt for her. So, yeah. All right.
Kind of feel sorry for her, but.
Oh, Vangelis.
Friends of Mr. Cairo.
Yeah.
This is the alternate cover. Now I have the other cover, but I didn't have this one. So I had been looking in the wilds for this one, and I found it. So great album, John Anderson.
What was the title of it?
Friends of Mr. Cairo.
Friends of Mr. Cairo. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. You seen this album?
I have, and
maybe you've seen it.
The other cover, not realizing they were two different covers.
Yeah. This is the harder one to find. This is on Polydor, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit harder to find than the other one. I'm not sure why they.
Jennifer. Hey, good morning, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us.
Not sure if they did why they did an alternate cover on that.
Oh, that's
John Mayall.
John Mayall.
I had found this here one day, but the record wasn't in it. So I kept it. And the lady says, "Oh, you can have it just for free." I said, "Oh, okay." So I took it home and I put it on the side, and I said, "Well, one day I'll find the record out." Well, lo and behold, I found the record, but I found a better cover with it. It's on the old London. Yep. So found that. That's all for that.
He says he loves that album, John and Vangelis.
Oh, it's a great album.
He said they were a terrific team. Here's his comment.
Yeah, they were, and then it ended up being a bitter ending, from what I hear.
No, I didn't know that.
Like a lot of dysfunctional bands. You could have a whole show on just dysfunctional bands.
I would be pointing the finger at me if I did that. I mean, we're all humans.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you told me that there's a store close to you, an independent record store that you frequent, and then you were saying you were on vacation, went to St. Augustine, and
right.
and you went there because on vacation you discovered a store, and then the owner called you back and says, "Hey, come on over. I got a bunch of stuff in, and I got them really cheap. Come dig." And you went there this week and did some digging, right?
On Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Wow.
I drove up there. It was about an hour and 20-minute drive.
Wow.
And I spent about 3. Huh?
I said during the pandemic.
With a mask on, social distancing, with a mask on, and the store was open. There was 3 people in the store, me, another guy, and then the kid that was running it for the owner.
Okay. And are we seeing some of that stuff now?
We are. Mm-hmm.
Wow,
yeah.
That's cool.
The owner.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Art, but it seems like your internet connection is spotty. Or I'm sorry, Art, it seems like your internet connection is spotty at times.
Oh, I only got one bar.
Yeah, so I'm trying to.
The router's across the house from me.
Oh.
I don't know if that makes a difference. My son seems to think it does.
It might. It might.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're cool. You're cool. Yeah. All right.
So he said, yeah, so come on up. So I did, and then I came home with a few. I got some more if you want me to show me some more. If I want me to show you some more.
Well, keep it coming. I was wondering if we would have enough time today, or if we would have to make it a Saturday, Sunday show.
All right.
Yeah. I'll put
I got about 4 more stacks here, I think.
4 more stacks.
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Problem is I don't sell them.
Well, don't worry. I'm not selling many during the pandemic, so we're okay.
Okay, this is another one I've been looking for. I have Spectrum, but then I was looking for Crosswinds. I believe this is the album that came out right after Spectrum. It's a really good album.
Billy Cobham.
If you like fusion jazz, then that album would be right up your alley. Then I seen this one there, and I love Jean-Luc Ponty. He's like one of my all-time favorite. And found this one with Stefan Graffali.
Oh,
now, yeah. I have put in all my records into Discogs. The only reason I put them in Discogs is so that when I go to a record store, I don't buy doubles. Because I was bringing home some doubles. And then, so I ended up with about 5 or 6 doubles. And then I seen a guy, then I go on the VC, and that's actually how I found Adam. I go on the VC and listen to some of the people on there, the ones that are talking about records, not the ones that aren't talking about other stuff other than vinyl, which is plenty of that too. But I don't get into any drama. I just want to talk about records. So, yeah. So I enjoy this album. It's really good. But what I say about Discogs is I put them all in there, and that way I don't buy the doubles. And then I seen a guy that was saying that he didn't have any money, and he was low on cash, and wasn't buying any records, and wasn't able to buy any records. And so I sent him a few records, some of the doubles I had, and I felt good in my heart to do that. So,
oh, that was nice. Oh yeah,
yeah. Found this one. And like I say, these are all $1. How can you go wrong for $1? Now this is here. It was at the end of their run. But it's 80s, and you can tell it's 80s just by the hair of Annie Haslam there. But I really enjoy their early stuff. But this Poppy, they made 2 albums. They made this one and another one. And it's good. It's just not as good as, let's say, Ashes Are Burning, which is my favorite.
Ashes Are Burning. Okay.
Yeah, that's like, I think that's their second album after Prologue of the new band. Now, they did make a couple records prior to Prologue, but that was without Annie Haslam. That was the other Renaissance. I always call it the other Renaissance. Against All Odds. And I picked this up because there are songs on here from Peter Gabriel, Mike Rutherford, and Phil Collins. They each contribute 1 song to the album, but they didn't sing together. They have separate songs.
Wow.
Which is a good movie too. I haven't seen the movie in forever, but I remember it being a good movie.
I don't think I've seen the movie at all. I have to check it out. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
This one here I found. This one's a hole in my collection. I didn't have this one. Yeah, I really like Shadowfax. And after one of the members passed away, Chuck Greenberg, they disbanded and they broke up. But Chuck Greenberg, he produced the records, and he played a special instrument on the within the band. I can't remember the name of the instrument, but they're incredible.
Would you say that's fusion?
I would say it's world music, maybe fusion, yeah. Jazz.
Did you have their first album?
Watercross Way. I have two covers. There's two covers for that too.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Very
one of them, I think the original was on Passport.
Yes.
But,
Yeah. That's a
now
little more proggy.
that is definitely fusion.
Yeah.
This
Yeah. There you go.
They got into more of a new age thing after that album.
Yeah.
But they did re-release Watercross Way, and I think they reimagined it, or they it's a little bit different.
Yeah. All right. Let's say good morning to No Money G. Good morning, No Money G. Greg, thanks for stopping by. Hey, folks, we're hanging out with Art today. He's talking about the cool records that he enjoys, and that's what it's all about, folks.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for being with us. Art, we're still trying to figure out if this is going to be continued tomorrow or another day, because Art drove almost an hour and a half up to a store that called him up and says, hey, we got a bunch of stuff in that we think you'll dig, and it was right up your alley. So yeah, this is exciting. Now, Art, when we first were chatting, I got you confused with my customer up in Creedmoor, who is the biggest prog person I know, and there's so many cool genres that overlap each other, but he likes prog more than he likes fusion, but he likes fusion. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Cool. And so, and I thought you and I were this community. I thought, yeah.
And I was actually down south.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. There you go, sir. Keep it rolling.
Oh, am I back on? Greatest hits. I have most of her records, but I didn't have her greatest hits. I think they came out with the greatest hits volume 2 also. That's a blue cover. Yeah. This is the first one, and then we got the second one. That's just because I'm a completist most of the time with artists that I like. And everybody has seen this one, Patrick Moraz.
Yeah. I have a copy of that
album. Have you heard that album?
I have, yeah. Art, I got to ask you about your inner sleeves. I keep trying to figure out what they are when you flip around. Show us the inner sleeve that you're using. Is that one that you added, or did it come from the record store that way?
No, I get them. My wife gets them for me.
Okay.
And then,
well, let's see what they are.
Pull the record out. So, and they're reasonably priced.
What brand are they?
Can you read that?
Nah, not really. You have to
Square
send it
Deal
later.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Square Deal Recordings and Supplies, and they make the inners and the outers. Okay, so I get both, and then I seen somebody on the VC. They had them putting the record on the back.
Yeah.
In the sleeve, is rather than keep it inside. So I started doing that, and then I clean them, and then I put them inside the. Now I've just found this one, and I really like Brian Auger. That's from Fusion.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen his records in the wild?
Yes, I have a lot of his records for sale. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And he did one with Julia.
You can put him in your Fusion section.
Okay, cool. Did he? Was he the one that had Julia Driscoll joining him on some records?
I don't know. He had I only have 2 of his records right now, but he had a lady with him for a while, I think.
And he had Julia Driscoll.
He had the Oblivion Express, and then he also had, I think he has some records that's just himself.
Yeah.
Then I seen this one, and I thought to myself, I seen the Wind and Weathering tour with Genesis. Saw it at Madison Square Garden in '77, and then me and my friends went over to Philly, and we saw it at the Spectrum like the next night.
Wow!
And the cover looked like the Wind and Weathering tour, so I said, "Oh, maybe this is some kind of a bootleg live," or something, and I was reading all this, and it looked like it was Italian or something. So then I flipped it over and I bought it, and it's actually from Genesis to Revelation, their first album. It's kind of weird how
I've
they
always been real
market it.
puzzled about those particular pressings, that label, and I think some were
Real
pressing
thin.
only.
So I knew it was an import because the cardboard is super thin. And usually when you get a cardboard that's like this, it's always either German or from England or from
Yeah.
Spain or somewhere.
I
But
knew that some are pressed in Italy and some are pressed in Spain, and
this is Spanish.
yeah.
This is from
I've never
Spain.
jumped into it.
So I got one of them back.
Yeah. I've never done enough research to learn if they're official or not, or if it was just a budget or whatever. But hey,
Right.
I don't see them as much as I used to. But in the when I used to do the flea markets, go shopping, I would see a ton of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I tried. I don't ever find nothing up here, down here, in the GW. When I go over there, I don't find nothing. So
Well,
it's like a waste of time to go there because they don't have. I don't know if somebody's getting them before me or if there's just nobody. Because all you see in there is like Matavani and Jim Neighbors, and it's all that kind of stuff. And
exactly.
I'm not even paying 50 cents for something like that because if I'm not going to listen to it, I'm just not going to hoard albums just to have them.
Sure.
There's people that do that. I mean, and there ain't nothing wrong with that if that's what you like, but it's not my thing.
Well, this was before the vinyl revival, and I was just out shopping for things I wanted to listen to, and I would see a lot of stuff like that, and I was like, "Oh, another one of these." Yeah.
You know who this is, Adam?
I don't.
This is Fusion.
Okay.
Yeah. He played with Mahavishnu. He played with Al Di Meola. He's played with John McLaughlin, Jocko, lots of people.
What's his name?
Tony Williams. He was a drummer. He's passed away, but yeah, Tony Williams. Now he has several solo albums, but if you look him up on like say Wikipedia or something, you can see where he's played in several other. That's on the Columbia.
He actually goes back to the 50s and 60s, doesn't he? Didn't he play with some of the jazz greats?
Like Miles and stuff?
Miles, Coltrane, people like that?
Could be.
Yeah, or there could be a different Tony Williams, but yeah.
Maybe. I know he passed. He was young when he died.
Oh, it could be a different Tony Williams then. Hey, good morning, Iris. Are you playing Scrabble? I would love to play Scrabble. Oh my gosh, I miss that so much. Okay.
John LaPonte.
Oh.
Another one of his albums, Taste for Passion.
Very cool. I like his violin.
Yeah, the blue violin. He was young there. That's all for that group.
All right. Are we going to stop there? You're going to get another pile. It's up to you, my man.
Oh, I can get another pile. I can keep the train rolling.
He's going to keep the train rolling, folks. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I appreciate it a bunch. We're hanging out with Art, and he's talking about the really cool records he enjoys. Art likes
Even more.
And Fusion. He likes Fusion more. And so that's been really neat to have Art join us for Coffee and Vinyls in the mornings and learn more about Fusion. And
oh yeah, because there's Stanley Clarke.
Wow, the man, the bass.
Oh yeah. Now, if I'm not mistaken, let me look at this real quick. Tony Williams is on this one, as well as Jan Hammer, Bill Connors. Now, Bill Connors has several solo albums, and I have some of his records too. Bill Connors is a really good guitarist, and he's still making music today.
Okay.
That's a really good record. You can find this one out in the wild.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. John McLaughlin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with the hype stickers.
Yeah. I have a copy of that for sale. Music Plus, $7.90
And
something.
if I was you, I would get a hold of Adam and get it. His wonderful album. Actually, I saw this tour when I was stationed in Groton, Connecticut. I was stationed up there at the sub base in the Navy. Went to either New Haven or Hartford and seen him with a friend of mine who lives the next apartment over, me and John. We went down there and saw the show, and it was just John McLaughlin with a guitar for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And he had no drummer. He didn't have any keyboards. He didn't have just him playing his guitar. And it was incredible. If you're into that kind of stuff, some people would find it boring, but I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Very cool.
So, really good record. And then this is like the album that came before it or just after it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've had that before.
I'm sure Adam's seen these before.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it's always good to see him again.
This is a band. This is a Canadian band. Now, their first album, I think, was called Black Noise. And it had Nash the Slash. This album, Nash the Slash, is not on this record. And I looked it up and read about it, and he had left the band. He was an electric violinist, if I'm not mistaken. But he's not on this one. But it's definitely progressive rock.
Oh, wow.
Leaning towards regular rock. But they made several albums after this one. This is the only one I have Black Noise and I have this one. And they're on Passport. So, yeah, City of Fear. I haven't listened to this one yet either. I have a lot to listen to. Some I get around to and some I don't file them in my record collection until I listen to them. At least once. David Sanchez. He has a few records. Forest Feeling. This is jazz fusion. David Sanchez is known for being on the Born to Run album. I think he was on the first couple Bruce Springsteen albums. He was in the E Street Band. And he's also played with other people. But he's a keyboard. Oh, he played with Peter Gabriel on one of the tours. I'm not sure what tour it was. Might have been the So tour. It was on one of them. Excellent keyboardist. Jazz keyboardist. It's like Phil Collins was a jazz, leans toward more of a jazz drummer.
Yeah.
I really like Brand X a lot.
I have a question for you, Art. Pink Floyd, with your prog jazz fusion background, how do you classify Pink Floyd?
Some people would say they're classic rock, but I think they're more progressive rock. But then their early stuff with Syd Barrett would be more psychedelic rock. So with a lot of bands, they kind of fit a lot of different genres.
Yeah, they move around.
Lately I've been listening to. I picked up the Nick Mason live. I got the DVD. I got the Blu-ray, and I got the regular album. And then I've been listening to that, where he goes back and he does all the old. Who's my doggy? He does, and the wife, and all the dogs. He goes back and he does all the old stuff. He does from the very first album all the way up through Metal. I think he does Fearless off of Metal. But so he does that whole era there. The Syd Barrett, and then after Syd was forced out of the band and Gilmore took over. Nick Mason told a story. One day I was listening. He said, "Well, one day we just didn't pick Syd up. They had a van or something. They go around picking the members up to go to the jam or whatever." And the guy said, "Well, how did Syd leave the band?" He said, "Well, one day we just didn't pick him up." He was whacked out. But
Gilmore was already a member of the band, and sometimes Syd would just stand there and hold
right. I heard that he would. Syd would come to the show, and he would just stand there in front of the stage and just stare at Gilmore.
Yeah.
from like the first row or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of he felt so. He said he felt so. And I don't know if he felt intimidated or weird about it, but I mean, Gilmore didn't seem like he was. He's still recollecting back, 40 years, whatever, and talking about it. And it's like, he's kind of freaked out about it.
Well, as I understand, Gilmore and Sid were friends way before Pink Floyd began. And
right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. Speak of Pink Floyd, today, many years ago, started a new tour for the Pink Floyd, and they went on tour with Jimi Hendrix as the opening band.
First, I don't have any records by. I don't have any Jimi Hendrix.
You don't have any Jimi? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Greg said I sold all my vinyl in the early 2000s. Sold them on eBay and put most of them on Sony mini disc before I sold them. Got
that was smart.
Mini disc in '93 when they came out. I like the mini disc too. Do you still have your mini disc, Greg? I still have mine, and I try to pick them up when I can, but I just don't see them anymore.
I'm not sure I've heard of that.
Glad to see the revival. Good morning, Philip. I am not in Raleigh today, but I will be in Raleigh tomorrow if that works out for you. And if you want me to take it to Wake Forest, just let me know. I'll do that. But your record is in Raleigh at the moment, Phil. But thanks for joining us, Phil. All right. Back to you, sir.
Oh, okay. Here's another group with Gary Moore. Like some people know Gary Moore from being a blues guitarist, but he was also, and some people have probably heard of Coliseum, the band, which was a psych band from the late 60s and 70s. And then they came out with Coliseum 2. Now, John Heisman is on this, and Don Airey. Don Airey is now the keyboardist for Deep Purple. That someone told me. I haven't followed Deep Purple since Machine Head. That's a long time ago. And then Gary Moore is on this as well. So if you like fusion, I'd say fusion jazz, hard, rock, and you'd probably like this record, Coliseum 2. They made this album. They made another one called, this is called War Dance. They have one called Strange New Flesh. And then they have another, they made 3 albums. But they're very good. It's on the MCA Rainbow label.
Are they part of Coliseum, the psych band?
No. Well, Coliseum 2, so I'm thinking that they may be. Now, I'm not sure about this guy named John Mole. If he was the bass player, because he'd been the keyboardist. Gary Moore was the guitarist. So he might have been the drummer. I'm not sure. I didn't really research that, but they must have had something to do with the original Coliseum to call themselves Coliseum 2. I'm not sure. But I think maybe John Heisman was in Coliseum, and then they transferred over. That'd be something to look into. I'm not sure. But I know someone said the other day that Don Airey was now, since John Lord died, he's the keyboardist now for, and he's got to be old. This record came out in the 70s.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about Brian Auger earlier.
Yeah.
Have you seen this record?
I have never seen
Search Party.
Search Party.
Now this is a digitally mastered. This thing sounds phenomenal.
Oh, very
It's got a cool label.
Wow.
Yeah. It's on the Head First label.
Yeah.
And Planet Earth Calling. Digital master audio file pressing. Yeah.
Ooh.
Back in the day, it suggested price for $8.98.
There you go. Let's say good morning to Yolanda. Good morning, Yolanda. Thanks for joining us. And Greg says, oh, yeah, I have about 30 units. I collect the portable units as they come up. Oh, Greg, I had no idea. One of my customers also enjoys mini disc, and we're back and forth texting each other cool things that we found. I found a car unit, a car head unit that had AM, FM, and a mini disc, and a 1/4 and an 1/8 inch input jack. And I texted him images, and I was like, "Oh man, if we could only put these in our automobiles, we would be so cool." So, yeah,
I never heard of the mini disc,
Greg. Sir,
never heard. I've never heard of the mini disc.
So it looks kind
I
of
don't
like
know.
a floppy disk for your computer, but it's
Oh,
actually
it
a
was.
little bit different. And there was
Oh,
home units and automobile units and portable units. And I bought one
really?
because I wanted to be able to record shows. I would record shows on a cassette deck. And then I learned about the mini disc. So I got the mini disc and I started recording on that. And it was really cool. Yeah.
I missed that whole thing.
Yeah, they're really cool. I wanted one for the car so bad. Absolutely. How about that, Greg? Well, just think. Well, Greg, maybe you and I can do a show one day just on mini disc. I would love to talk about that. And every once in a while, I go looking for them online, and I was like, just to buy the actual disc themselves to play, and they're super expensive. But there you go. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
There you go.
This one I found. Now the next bunch here were not from that place we were talking about.
Well, I love me some Tears for Fears.
Now this album I don't see very often in vinyl. You see it
Not
in
very
you see it in
often.
maybe it's because it was made in the 80s and it wasn't pressed a lot.
Well, I think a lot of people are keeping those, but it's hard to find them in beautiful condition pre-owned. That's
This
for
was
sure.
like this was like pristine,
Good.
and I was really shocked. The top's a little bit boogered up, but yeah. Everybody needs a little spirit.
Yeah.
It's on the
Oh,
old
I had
Epic.
that once. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been collecting their records. I like them. I never listened to them before. And then I heard that about that lawsuit with Led Zeppelin, where they said that Spirit had a song on their first album that Jimmy Page must have heard because it sounds just like Stairway to Heaven. Or so then I said, well, I got to hear it. So then I got the album, and then I started getting some of their other albums.
Well, Spirit and Led Zeppelin played together, and
Right, so that would make sense.
Spirit would perform Taurus.
Led Zeppelin, they won the lawsuit and said, no, wasn't us, wasn't us. So
Yeah, I wanted Randy California. Have you heard any of his solo records?
no, I haven't.
Boy, there's one solo record that is so good. It sounds like if the Beach Boys were to remove the harmonies and play rock and roll with Brian Wilson.
Right.
It's just great. It's just great. It's just great. I'll have to text you an image of the actual album. I can't recall the name right now. Tears for Fears is a great copy. I have a nice copy too. Very cool.
I like A Little Bad Company and Run with the Pack
I like
on
that company too.
the Swan Song.
Uh-huh.
I can remember when I was real young, I was like, first record store I ever went to in New Jersey growing up. I was probably about 14, I don't know, 13. And I found their first album, I think it had just come out on 8-track. I had an 8-track player in my car.
Ooh, was it a Camaro?
No, it was an Oldsmobile F85. It was like the engine was like over 400. It was a 4-door, big old boat. And I remember my mom. She did the whole roof of the car in denim. She took like old jeans and stuff, and she probably went to the store and bought some material. And she had the visors. Everything was done in denim. It was so cool. And that was my car in high school, and everybody thought it was the coolest, you know. And then I ended up bringing all the kids home from school when I had to be to work half a day. I went half a day to school my senior year and a half a day at work. So I ended up shuffling kids around the neighborhood. You know, I need a ride home. And then they plug in the 8-track, and down the road we go, you know.
There you go. Yeah.
And then,
Hey, good morning, Glenn. How are you? And let's say someone else is from Florida. Dave, the pickup artist. Good morning, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
I've reached out to him.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a nice hairdo he does. We're hanging out with Art this morning, everybody. So
yeah, it looks like the Joker.
Oh, he does. I was just looking at his hair.
Did Bill Connors.
Hmm.
That's
Is
the
that ECM?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the guitarist I was talking to you about, who played with Tony Williams, and I believe he played in Mahavishnu also.
Yeah. Hey, you said Tony Williams. I went and looked up Tony Williams, and it is the same Tony Williams that played with Mills Davis. So he has
Oh, okay.
he has a
He
wonderful
must have
pedigree.
been. He must have been very young.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers. I think he died in the 50s. Oh, I'm sorry.
Who?
Cheers, Iris. Cheers.
The other Tony Williams?
The photograph you showed, the record you showed of Tony Williams was the same Tony Williams that played with Mills Davis.
Oh, okay.
He died when he was in his 50s. He died at 51 years old.
Who did?
Tony Williams.
No, this album here came out in the 70s.
He died in 97. He was 51 years old.
Oh, okay. I got you. I thought you said he died in 51. I was going to say, yeah, the record came out 20 years later.
That's it. That's it, Dave. Captain Copper.
Huh. I have to look out for that one.
Well, I would. Yeah, absolutely. And if you like, you can check it out on YouTube until you find your copy. Or if you check it on YouTube, you're like, I don't want a copy. It's just a way to check it out. Yeah. Randy, California. Captain Cooper. Oh, that record is so good. Why is it so good? Oh, sorry. Oh,
Her second album.
hello, Kate Bush.
Yeah. I do like Kate. Like I said, back in the day when I was in the service, I had lots of her stuff. And of course that all went in the purge. Now, this album here is Canadian. And it's on the Harvest label. Speaking of Return to Forever, this is actually the hymn of the Seventh Galaxy. This is with Chick Corea.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
This is another very good record.
Was there did something happen with that Return to Forever family tree where there was somebody involved in a certain spiritual aspect that just totally broke up the band or group?
I read that John McLaughlin was into a spiritual leader with Carlos Santana. And then they made a record together called Devotion or something.
Yeah.
And
That's a good record.
it was about their journey with this spiritual leader, the two of them. But I don't know if that broke up Mahavishnu, because I think John McLaughlin was making Mahavishnu records with different people in the band up into the 80s.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just need to research that.
It's her first album with a different cover.
Oh,
There's another cover with her sitting with a pair of socks and she's sitting on the floor or something. And this is actually in clear vinyl.
That's a UK person, isn't it?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does David Gilmour play on that one?
I think he does, yeah. I can remember seeing, first time I saw her was on Saturday Night Live. She came on and she did 2 songs, and it's probably on YouTube if you look it up. I mean, she was very young, and she had a fear of flying. So she was there, of course, in New York City, live on the show, and then she went back to England, and then I don't know if she's ever been back to the States since then, because she had a fear of flying. And then when she did the show, she did like a week-long show in Europe like 6 years ago in England. And it's on, I mean, you can get it on CD and vinyl, but they didn't film it, or they filmed it and they didn't release it. She didn't want it released on video, on Blu-ray or DVD or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's on, I mean, the audio is there. You can buy I think it's called Before the Dawn. And it's it's a pretty long show, and I heard Gilmore was there to see the show. But yeah, I read a little bit about it, and I don't have the record, but I have seen it like in the stores and stuff.
And I like the collaboration she did with Peter Gabriel.
Yeah, Don't Give Up. Yeah, it's very good. But like a lot of artists when they get older, their voices change. So hers did, Paul McCartney, Elton John, you can name probably 100 of them. But their voices don't sound as good. And then someone told me that when they go in to make a new record, like the McCartney 3's coming out, I wonder if he used auto-tune, because they say a lot of the artists use that computerized where they make the album, but they try to make their voice sound 30 years younger. I don't know if that's true or not. Something I read called auto-tune.
Dave was saying that it was also a tribute to Coltrane. I'm thinking the Mahavishni and Santana record is what Dave's referring to.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that record, but I'd like to try to find the first couple Santana albums.
But Santana also did another jazz record. It had the blue cover that had a lot of, I think it was butterflies, if I'm not mistaken. It was a beautiful cover. Yeah.
I don't have any Santana albums. I did back in the day, like when I was in high school and stuff. I think I had Abraxas. That might have been the only one I had, but I don't own any right now. I heard their first album was very good. I never owned their first album. I think Evil Ways is on that album, but I never owned that album. And I plan on starting up my own show or my own VC show, but it won't be probably until I move to North Carolina, and that's going to be next summer. So then I want to start my own show. And then, so how far is Hickory? I plan on being in the Hickory area. How far is that from your store?
Let's find out. Hey, Siri, how many miles am I from Hickory, North Carolina?
It looks like Hickory is about 64 miles away by car.
That doesn't sound right. Thank you, Siri.
From Raleigh?
Yeah, that can't be right.
Is that the closest store? That would be.
Well, it says, Siri says it's 64 miles. Siri, I think you're wrong,
right.
Baby. But I think it's more like 164. But
really?
Why don't you show the next record and I'll look that up.
Well, I'm going to show you a couple that I came across. They're pretty cool. Have you ever seen this one?
No, what is it?
And I know you like Pink Floyd.
A little bit.
I'm going to take it out of the bag.
Ooh, Naked Floyd.
That's the record. It comes in a sleeve. There's nothing real special about this, but the record is from Argentina, I think.
Oh, Argentinian press.
It's from, like I say, it's from somewhere. Let me find out. But
I should have you.
It's pretty cool looking. That's something I've never seen before. And so I may have to do some research on this one.
Sure.
To find out, because all the.
Yeah, it is what you were here.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. I thought it was, but when it had Pink Floyd on the cover, it made me think, what is that?
Yeah. It's definitely it's not from the U.S. And then I'll put that away later. Okay. And then course, everybody hasn't seen this one, but has everybody seen white vinyl?
Oh yeah, I've seen them before. I've never owned one. Very cool.
Yeah. So I was able to pick this up for a good price. And this is from Holland.
Yeah,
I never seen one with a white vinyl before.
yeah, absolutely. Hey,
And
good
that's
morning,
all.
Donald. You changed your avatar. That's very cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks everybody for joining. We're hanging out with Arthur today, and he's showing us some really cool records. Yeah, I like that white um, pressing of.
Dark Side of the Moon. I haven't listened to it yet, so but we'll see if it. I had bought the 180 gram re-release that came out recently. They came out with like 180 gram.
Mm-hmm.
And then my daughter's in the Navy. She's stationed up in Norfolk. I bought her a record player, just something to get her started with. She didn't want nothing too fancy. She said, "Don't spend a lot of money, Dad. Just give me something." No. So I bought her a little something. And then, so she's been up there going to the local pawn shops and places up there and picking up a few records up in Virginia. So when I went up to see her, was it last month? Yeah, last month I think I went up. I brought her a few records in my collection. I brought her the 180 gram Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. And then we listened to it together, and she had never heard the album before. She had never heard Pink Floyd. She said she probably had heard it in the car with me growing up, but just to sit down and listen to it on her own record player, so she really enjoyed it. And then I brought her that. I brought her Joni Mitchell Hajira, which is like one of my favorite Joni Mitchell albums. It's got Jocko and Pat Metheny, and then of course the live album that came out after that. It has all of them. It's when she went a little bit there, 174.
Yeah, I just found it. Thank you so much, Donald, for finding that for us.
Would that be the closest record store you have to Hickory? Because you have 3.
Either Wake Forest or Raleigh. I would probably guess Raleigh just because you're probably coming on I-40. Yeah.
Oh.
But you got to do them all.
Yeah, do them all. Do them all.
Yeah.
Then I can go pick them.
There you go. Good morning, Art and Adam. Good morning, Carson.
That would take a couple hours to get there from Hickory.
Well, yeah. Who knows it? Yeah. There you go. You might want to
drive over for the day.
Make it a couple of days, and that way you can help me organize the Jazz Fusion.
Oh man, that'd be fun. Yeah. I had to organize it in 3 different stores.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll take you an hour each store.
Unless you took all your Fusion and put it all in one store. So this is where you go to find Jazz Fusion. Right. Is there any, I mean, are your stores close to the college? To a college?
It is, but so yes, Raleigh and Wake Forest are both close to colleges. And Wake Forest is close to a seminary college, so it's a Baptist Jesus college. And,
right. Because I noticed down here a lot of like in where the major colleges are, like in Orlando, there's record stores near the college. Gainesville, Jacksonville's probably that way, but there's record stores that are close by the colleges, and that's where the kids frequent. Yes. Especially in St. Augustine. Now, just we were talking about that earlier. That one particular store that I went to is right near, if not like right across the street from St. Augustine College, the big college there in St. Augustine. It's been there since like the 1800s. So I asked the kid that works in there, I said, do you get a lot of the people, the young kids in here from across the street from the college? Oh, he said, all the time. He said, they're always there, in and out of here. They bring me records. They buy records. So it's real popular with the young people, the vinyl craze, the new, push on the vinyl, with the color vinyl and all the new artists that are out and blah, blah, blah. So but he said that, they're crazy about it. They have the little small record players in their dorm room. They have this, so they're getting more away from MP3, seems like, and more into vinyl, and then, and of course, you can buy CDs, like you can buy them for $1, $2. CDs are right now, the time to go to RecordKrate.com and buy lots of CDs. Because
I wish I had all my pre-owned CDs on there, but I don't. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But that means the price is right.
Absolutely. So the Raleigh location is close to North Carolina State University. It's about 10 blocks away. But across from campus, there's Nice Price and Reader's Corner, and then across from Centennial campus is School Kids. So there's some good choices for people who go to school or live on campus. They can walk there. I'm a little bit of a hike. The Wake Forest location is close to the seminary. Some come in there, but music selection would be a little different than a seminary student would be attracted to. But Wake Forest High School has been really good for me, and of course,
there you go.
I don't think they're back in school yet. I think they're still distancing. I don't know.
Do you notice kids coming to the store, like from the college? Yeah. See, that's a thing. That's a thing for them. Yeah, they're enjoying that.
Oh, the record show in Jacksonville tomorrow.
I'm going to be there. I plan on going up.
Oh wow, yeah, very cool.
Maybe I'll be the pickup artist there.
How far are you from? You can spot that hair anywhere. How far are you from Jacksonville?
Who, me?
Uh-huh.
About 110 miles south.
Are you going to drive there? Very cool.
Yeah, I'm going to drive there tomorrow.
Then you were a reseller spreading cheer. She had a video of him moving into his dorm. He had a record player. Glad to see the vinyl come back. Her teenage son. Oh, cool. That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah. And so
they had one in Orlando, but I missed it. There was a record show in September, but I think I was in Virginia then.
Okay. Well, cool. Well, be careful there tomorrow, Dave.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to see your number on my. I don't want to get an email as your number tomorrow. I'm sorry, Art.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said take my sanitizer, social distance, wear my mask, all the above.
Wear 2 masks.
Wear 2 masks,
please. Yeah. Wear a shield.
Yeah, down in Florida is pretty much open. I mean, everything.
It can be open all day long, but I still is not going to change my mind.
No, I know.
Yeah, I'm still going to be even more careful.
Right.
And so
everybody needs to be careful, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm really scared of the people who aren't careful. That's the problem. With that said, all right, thank you so much for showing us these wonderful records. I enjoyed learning more about Fusion and
Oh, you're welcome. Like, say, if you want to do a part 2, let me know, because I still have another. I still have another.
Or do it another time.
Huh?
Would you like to do it tomorrow or do it another time?
Maybe another time, because tomorrow I'm going to be busy. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're going to the Jacksonville record show.
Yeah. And then I'll have more on the chair.
Don't forget to look under the tables, folks.
Right.
People who sell records, they don't like records. If there's an artist they don't like, they put it under the table. And,
so maybe that's where the dollar records are.
Bring your knee pads. Yeah. All right. Stay right there. All right, I'm gonna hit end and make it happen. But thank everybody for hanging out with us. We had 8,000 cases in one day yesterday.
Wow.
The United States as a whole had lots of cases in the last few days show up, and it's really, really sad, folks. Be careful. I don't think I'm going to be setting up at a record show anytime soon. Tomorrow night, TKR, TC, I'm having a sell, and absolutely. And I got to see if I'm checking my email. I invited some people to join me. Let's see if I heard back from them. I have not heard back from, so it's either going to be me alone, solo, or I'll have some guests. So tomorrow night, going to make it happen, folks, and hope to see you there and cool things like that. So everyone be safe. Thanks for hanging out with us. Namaste. See you soon.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.